The Galactic Council chamber hummed with the gentle vibration of thousands of translation matrices, each one carefully calibrated to convert the varied communications of 47 different species into something resembling universal understanding. High Counselor Zephyrix of the Ethereal Collective floated behind the central podium, her gossamer form shimmering with barely contained disdain. "The petition before us today," she announced, her voice carrying the crystalline tone of her species, "concerns the humans of Sol 3, who seek membership in our esteemed council." A ripple of what could generously be called amusement passed through the assembled delegates. The Krillian representatives' chitinous exoskeleton clicked in what their species considered laughter. The flower-like botanids released a cloud of spores that their neighbors recognized as their equivalent of a dismissive snort. Ambassador Sarah Chen stood in the petitioner's circle, her simple black suit a stark contrast to the elaborate biomechanical interfaces and energy fields that adorned the alien delegates around her. At 1.7 meters tall and weighing roughly 70 kilograms, she was unremarkable by human standards and laughably fragile by galactic ones. "Honored counselors," she began, her voice steady despite the obvious hostility in the chamber. "Humanity comes before you with—" "Silence," Zephyrix interrupted with a wave of her translucent appendage. "We have reviewed your species' biological specifications. Your homeworld's gravity is barely above minimal habitability standards. Your atmospheric pressure would be considered a light breeze on most civilized worlds. Your people require constant temperature regulation, frequent feeding, and regular periods of unconsciousness just to survive." The Krillian delegate leaned forward on 6 segmented legs, his compound eyes glittering. "My species evolved in the crushing depths of a gas giant's upper atmosphere, where the pressure could compress your entire body into a sphere the size of a marble. We consider anything less than 15 Gs to be low gravity." "Indeed," added the crystalline Silthan representative, her body refracting the chamber's light into prismatic patterns. "My people thrive in the radioactive cores of dying stars. We have observed your species' spacesuits, laughable constructions that would disintegrate in even the gentlest stellar wind." Sarah listened patiently as delegate after delegate described their species' superiority. The Vorthak, who breathed liquid methane. The Nexari, whose children played in lava pools. The Umbral Collective, who existed partially in dimensions that would instantly drive humans insane. "Furthermore," Zephyrix continued, consulting a holographic display, "your species exhibits disturbing psychological instabilities. You form emotional attachments to other individuals, even other species. You sacrifice your own welfare for abstract concepts like honor and justice. Most concerning of all, you appear to derive enjoyment from activities that serve no survival purpose whatsoever." "It is clear," the Krillian delegate pronounced, "that humans are too weak, physically, mentally, and evolutionarily, to contribute meaningfully to galactic civilization. The motion to deny membership is—" "May I ask one question?" Sarah interrupted quietly. The chamber fell silent. Such interruptions were nearly unprecedented in council proceedings. Zephyrix's form flickered with annoyance. "You may ask, though it will not change our decision." Sarah looked around the chamber, her gaze stopping briefly on each delegate. When she spoke, her voice carried a strange quality, not louder but somehow more present than before. "Has any of your species ever voluntarily entered a death world?" The question hung in the air like a toxin. Several delegates shifted uncomfortably. The concept of a death world was well known in galactic terminology, a planet so hostile that it actively tried to kill anything living on it. Most civilized species went to great lengths to avoid such places. "I fail to see the relevance," Zephyrix began. "Earth," Sarah continued, "gravity 9.8 meters per second squared. Atmosphere containing the highly reactive poison gas oxygen at concentrations that would be lethal to most of you. Weather systems that regularly produce wind speeds exceeding 200 kilometers per hour, electrical discharges in the millions of volts, and temperature variations of over 100 degrees Celsius." She began walking slowly around the petitioner's circle, and several delegates instinctively moved away from her. Our oceans contain predators that have remained unchanged for hundreds of millions of years because they achieved perfect killing efficiency. Our landmasses shift without warning, spewing molten rock from the planet's core. Our very atmosphere burns organic compounds so efficiently that we measure time by the speed of its destruction. The Silthan delegates' crystalline structure was resonating at a higher frequency now, their species equivalent of nervousness. "But here's what makes us truly different," Sarah said, and for the first time since entering the chamber, she smiled. It was not a threatening expression by human standards, just a simple, genuine smile, the kind a human might give when seeing an old friend or hearing a good joke. But to the assembled aliens, who had never seen such a thing, it was something else entirely. The smile revealed her teeth. 32 calcium carbonate weapons, designed by millions of years of evolution for tearing flesh. It created small lines around her eyes, speaking of a species that had found joy in the face of constant danger. Most unnervingly of all, it was, paired with eyes that remained completely alert and aware, the look of a predator that had learned to find amusement in the hunt. "We don't just survive on our death world," Sarah said, her smile widening slightly. "We made it into our playground. We climb its highest peaks for fun. We dive to the deepest parts of our poison seas as a hobby. We jump out of perfectly functional aircraft thousands of feet above the ground and we call it recreation." The Krillian delegates' chitinous plating had gone completely still, their species' freeze response. "Every single day, our planet tries to kill us in 1,000 different ways. Solar radiation, viral infections, bacterial invasions, toxic plants, venomous animals, seismic activity, atmospheric storms, and we wake up every morning looking forward to it." She stopped walking and looked directly at Zephyrix. "You want to know what makes humans dangerous? It's not that we're the strongest or the fastest or the most intelligent species in the galaxy. It's that we're the only species that considers a death world home, and we're the only species that smiles while we're fighting for our lives." The chamber was dead silent now. Even the gentle hum of the translation matrices seemed muted. "So yes," Sarah concluded, "we form emotional attachments, because anything that can survive alongside us is worth dying for. Yes, we sacrifice ourselves for abstract concepts, because we've learned that some things are more important than mere survival. And yes, we do things that serve no survival purpose, because when everything is trying to kill you, you learn to find joy wherever you can." She looked around the chamber one final time, her smile never wavering. "The question isn't whether humanity is too weak for the Galactic Council. The question is whether the Galactic Council is ready for a species of Deathworlders who smile in the face of extinction." High Counselor Zephyrix's gossamer form had gone completely still, and when she finally spoke, her crystalline voice had lost much of its earlier condescension. "Perhaps," she said slowly, "we should reconsider our initial assessment." The vote to grant humanity membership in the Galactic Council was unanimous. Though many delegates would later claim they voted yes out of diplomatic courtesy, the truth was simpler. They had seen a Deathworlder smile, and they had finally understood what it meant to be human. None of them wanted to find out what a human looked like when they stopped smiling.